You ever hear the expression, trust your feelings? I am all for it, by the way. Our intuition and our gut instincts are important. I think we have a sixth sense beyond our five senses that guide us, that resides in the body, that kind of tells us, hey, trust this person, do this thing. But it's not 100% readable. So, okay, here's what I was thinking. I'm very tired. I had a rough couple of days. I lost two of my mom's aides. And by lost, I don't mean they wandered into some wing of the house. We have a little Cape Cod house. Uh, they have separated from employment. And that is so much pressure on me. I'm in the process of filling in their shifts. Yes, things are going promising, but it's a lot of pressure. And I had an appointment today. I spent today at a conference. I'm worn out. I'm just so tired. And I came home. I had a little bite to eat. And I thought, oh man, I have to make a video. I don't have to make a video. I have to make a video because I have to keep my word. And I don't have to keep my word either. It's important to me. You have to understand, overcoming depression and anxiety, for me, involves a lot of mindfulness, a lot of wellness, a lot of self-esteem and integrity building. And that means keeping my word to myself. Because when I did indulge my tiredness, my laziness, my appetite, my urge to veg out in front of the TV, my health wasn't good, my mental health wasn't good, my life wasn't good. Does that mean we never veg out in front of the TV and binge watch a thing? I binge watched in 2 nights that series on Netflix, Lock and Key, because one of my students made a really beautiful presentation about it. So, yeah, no, sometimes it's okay to indulge, but if we trusted our feelings, we would never do anything productive. We would just chase pleasure. We would just chase dopamine hits. We would just do the easy thing. We would do the bare minimum. Wait a minute, trust our feelings. So, in order to go to work, do our work, do a job. Now, I happen to love my job. It doesn't mean I'm always in the mood to do it. That would mean if we don't feel like working that day, we don't have to. Why? Because my feelings told me I don't feel like it. My body's telling me to rest. But what makes us go to work and do well, because we want to keep a roof over our heads. We want to eat and buy groceries. We probably want to own a car or, get from here to there somehow. And so the feelings are not the primary motivator. Our ability to project into the future, delayed gratification, dictates what we do. But once we've fulfilled the let me get a paycheck so I can survive, feed my animals, and pay my bills, have electricity and internet, and then anything after that, we just, let me trust my feelings. I want to rest. My body's telling me to rest. It's not easy to choose trust the feelings, which is always going to be the feelings in the moment, and follow whatever plan or outline you have for a long-term goal, even if it's just doing your work that day so you can collect a paycheck. So when do we trust our feelings? I tried. I know, there is no try, only do or do not. I attempted to integrate into my life, all right, that's just another way of saying try, intuitive eating. And I thought, well, let me make the parameters that I keep it low carb because I am trying to reverse my diabetes here. And I'll just keep a lot of really high protein, keto friendly, low carb friendly foods in the house. And when I have the intuition to eat, I will have these safe foods to eat. And I gained weight. There might be a camp out there that says, well, that doesn't matter as long as you're following your feelings. I was following my feelings back to like significant weight gain. That was not working for me. And I did not like being prescribed Trulicity, Ozempic, whatever they were trying to get. What's the metformin? Even though I asked for insulin. Well, I figure that's the most natural thing. The price of it is outrageous. So very recently, I decided I'm done. I want to reverse this diabetes. I want to take off the rest of the weight. I'm done. That meant I had to give up this intuitive eating idea. Just eating whenever I felt like it, even if it was safe. I had to learn that gratification in the moment is not always the best choice. And it's definitely not always going to be the best for long-term results, no matter what those results are. If I stayed in bed every time I woke up in pain, I would be an invalid. I'm not saying I have chronic pain. I don't want to name that as an issue. I have aches and pains. I have arthritis pain. I hurt this, whatever this is. It's acting up today. I go for treatment. I go to chiropractic. I do self-massage. I use essential oils. I go to physical therapy. I use heat and cold. I invested in a very good mattress. I do what I have to do, and then I get up and do my work. Follow your feelings. Wisdom is knowing when to apply that idea. When following our feelings is the correct thing to do, and when following the integrity of our word and a long-term plan is the thing to do. Even the long-term plan is a week-long plan. I didn't feel like putting on clothes. Now, there's no necklace today. There's simply a turtleneck with a pajama top over it. This is super high fashion. I keep a big space up here with the intention of putting closed captions. I should probably have the camera angled a little lower. Well, next time. Perfectionism, it's the enemy of the good. Not doing it. Anyway, I know that after I keep my word, I'll feel better. I know that just because it's low carb doesn't mean I get to eat an unlimited amount of it. But that's not following my feelings. That's following, I surrendered and stepped on the scale and I didn't like the numbers. I don't like weight gain. I don't like this persistent type 2 diabetes. I didn't like that. So following my feelings to a long-term goal is preferable to following my feelings to whatever felt good in the moment. Okay, so intuitive eating people might come out of the woodwork to yell at me. I say, that's not what it's about. It's sensing what your body needs. know that our bodies are communicating to us in a way that we can understand, in a way that we can interpret? How do we know when our bodies need vitamin D, for instance? What do we crave? Sunlight? It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible. But how do we know our body doesn't just crave some salt in the moment? Yes, our bodies need salt. Salt is not the devil. Please stop demonizing salt. But what we crave is, oh, I'm just craving potato chips. Well, everything in moderation. No, your body was craving salt, and that came to mind. If it's not on some sort of long-term plan, probably not a great idea. You know, my intuition is to drink a lot of water. Great, but are you thirsty? Look, telling me that my body's telling me it needs to rest. I know when I'm tired. Why do we have to glamorize it and say our bodies are talking and we have to honor our feelings and honor our bodies? My body feels like moving. That's terrific. I'm glad your body feels like moving. If we're not moving every day, somehow, some way, we are going to get stiff. We will be more prone to injury. Could possibly be how this thing happened. Even though I was vacuuming at the time, I was moving, I was cleaning. If the lights suddenly go off, it's Zuko. He's just destroying my life over here. Very destructive little cat. Zuko! No, he's just going to do mischief. I know when my body feels like moving. Okay, great. But in addition to that, there has to be a plan where we get some sort of movement on a regular basis, at least, if it's not every day. Even though every day is probably optimal. What I'm saying is people who try to tell me intuitive eating, I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me. If it works for you, great. Shut this video off, though. Don't make a nasty comment. I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. If you're trying to tell me our bodies communicate with us, see, now the big one's going after to see what he's doing. Oh my God. That our bodies are very clear when it needs something. They're not. It was craving something sweet. It's possible that we needed some sort of carbohydrate in the moment, but there's a big difference between an apple and ice cream. Maybe ice cream is the thing you need. Who knows? Maybe you need some fat along with the sugar. So, can our intuitions tell us what our bodies need? Yes. Are they always clear? No. So, we need to have a framework for understanding our bodies. Please don't jump in front of my camera. He's going to jump in front of the camera. If we just follow our feelings, we won't get... I knew he was going to do it. If we just follow our feelings, we're not going to get the best health results, if that's the goal. If your goal is to just be a hedonist and do whatever feels good in the moment, sure. There you go. Trust your feelings. Just go. Do what it is you feel like. Whatever it is you feel like, just go do that. If you have a health goal, a mental health goal, a physical health goal, a spiritual fitness goal, I would like to be a spiritual fitness coach. Then there has to be kind of a translator in between what we want and how we understand how to turn that into action. I hope that made sense. It made a lot more sense in my head before I sat down in my pajama top and turtleneck to make a video for you. No, I was tired, and there was that voice in my head saying, oh, do we really have to? Can't we just miss one night? Why don't you make 2 tomorrow to make a... And then there's the voice in my head that said, no, you talk about keeping one's word and doing the right thing rather than what feels good. So let me keep my word and do that. Which is going to be better for my physical health, mental health, and spiritual fitness? It's going to be to sit and make the video. And that's not intuition telling me. That's everything about me is telling me that I did the right thing. In an extreme, we can be too hard on ourselves and never rest, and that's not good either. Remember, your framework should be physical health, mental health, spiritual fitness. So I'm not saying always push past the tiredness to do a thing. There will be times when you should rest, or else our bodies will get sick. Even if it's just a cold, a little flu, a little something. I know a lot of suburban mothers. This is a weird phenomenon. You can do the fact check and research. They get these stress fractures in their ankles. They'll get little miniature issues where a doctor will prescribe staying on the couch, bed rest. Keep it elevated, stay off it. Why? Because that's the only way sometimes women, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to men, I'm just thinking of a certain demographic, will allow themselves to rest and expect the rest of the people in the house to carry on and maybe bring them some tea and order food and clean the kitchen. But they won't rest unless they're sick. Workaholics, same thing. You really have to break down their bodies to get them to rest. So, yeah, it's not always a default. Resist the urge to rest because rest is evil. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying beware, be mindful, be wary, be wise about what you sense in your body. Tiredness, hunger, anxiety, ambition. There's the immediate gratification, the signals from our bodies. And then there's the long-term plan and what we know is the right thing to do. Combine those. Hopefully you will be on the path to physical, mental, spiritual health. So now I'm all awake now, so I'll go do something. I'll go accomplish something. Put something away, wash dishes. I don't know. Or maybe, knowing how tired I am, I'm just going to force myself to rest. It's late over here in New Jersey. It's after 9 p.m. Like, subscribe, share if you think this is something valuable that other people need to hear. And if you got any benefit out of this, leave me a heart or a comment. Please subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video because I said I would. Be well.